What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, Terrence Bud Crawford, the pound-for-pound king, 5-division champion, 3-division undisputed champion, first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, exposes the World Boxing Council, better known as the WBC. Mauricio Suleiman, president of WBC, and board of 32 members. Mauricio Suleiman lied on Terrence Crawford. He stated this.
Comply with the rules, then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
So that's what Mauricio Suleiman said. He didn't mention that Terrence Crawford already paid sanction fees, and this is another set of sanctioning fees that he wants Terrence Crawford to pay. And Terrence Crawford explains he already paid his fees just like he paid to all the other sanctioning bodies, and Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC want him to pay extra fees, and that's why Terrence Crawford says this.
The WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit. The fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt. It's a trophy anyway. The fuck am I paying you every time I step foot in the fucking ring?
So what Terrence Crawford is saying, that he already paid and they want him to pay extra because they have this retirement fund that he's saying that they want to. Mauricio Suleiman is saying that the WBC from his initial pay would pay $75,000. Then he would pay $225,000 to this retirement fund that he says goes to past fighters that, you know, have retired to help them out. And then he alludes to that he's glad that Terrence Crawford, you know, showed his true colors because they're done with Terrence Crawford. Right? This is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's fortunate. It's fortunate because I'm glad Terrence Crawford is taking a stand. And now all the black fighters, and I'm going to highlight the black fighters because Mauricio Suleiman, yeah, there's Mexican fighters too that, you know, Terrence Crawford is not the only one, right? But Terrence Crawford opened the door and exposed a lot. We saw what they did with David Benavidez, right? When they favor Canelo Alvarez. But they'll strip you quick, fast, in a hurry, right? And so Andre Ward, again, like I told y'all, Andre Ward is like a big brother to Terrence Crawford. And Andre Ward, he's on record saying, hey, man, we need to sit down with these sanctioning bodies and have them explain to us where exactly does all this money go when we pay these fees, especially when you be undisputed. You got to pay 12% when you're undisputed. 12% when you're undisputed. I believe when Devin Haney became undisputed, he had to pay something like $700,000, if I'm not mistaken. Something ridiculous like that. It's ridiculous. Right? And like Terrence Crawford says in his video, you can hear it on his totality. Terrence Crawford says, it's just a trophy. And I already accomplished what I need to accomplish. They ain't gonna want, and he said that they was rooting for Canelo to win the fight. And then he said that they had sad faces when he beat Canelo. Right? And he said that they never congratulated him when he beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm not surprised. He's their cash cow. That's why they invented the whole franchise title. Right? And so more black fighters need to step up. Fighters overall, but definitely the black fighters. David Benavidez was done dirty for years with the Canelo Alvarez situation. During the global pandemic, they stripped David Benavidez because they understood that Canelo wanted to become undisputed in that weight class. They stripped him during a global pandemic where everything was shut down, and then allowed Canelo Alvarez to fight for the vacant WBC title. Initially, they approved him to fight Avni Yildirim for that belt. Then the promoters and the networks was like, we ain't sanctioning that. We ain't approving. We ain't paying for that. Then he fought Caleb Smith for the vacant WBC belt and Caleb Smith's WBA belt, and became undisputed in under a calendar year. David Benavidez worked his way back into the position. Mind you, we going through a global pandemic. Everything is shut down. There's social distancing, no gyms open. David Benavidez misses weight on the scale. They ain't give him no leniency. They stripped him immediately. Devin Haney, they stripped him immediately, right? It's just nasty work. There is no consistency when you're dealing with these sanction bodies. Tank Davis been the WBA champion 135 forever and a day since 2019. One quote-unquote title, one mandatory defense was against Rolly Romero. But that was already a fight that he was going to take with or without their blessings. Because it was an in-house fight with Mayweather Promotions. He was doing that fight with or without them. Right? It's just nasty work. There's no consistency. None. Absolutely none. Right now, Conor Benn just became the mandatory for the WBC. This dude ain't fight at 147 in years. His last two fights have been at 160, and fights before that was at 154 because he got suspended for testing positive for a banned substance. Ryan Garcia comes off a loss to Rolly Romero, comes off of a suspension or for testing positive for a banned substance, and Ryan Garcia is made cleared to allow the fight to fight for the WBC title. For the WBC title at 147. Coming off of a loss and a suspension for testing positive for a banned substance. Remember, they said that they didn't want to suspend Ryan Garcia to WBC. They didn't want to alienate him because they wanted him to just get help. It's just nasty work, man. And now they acting like Terrence Crawford didn't pay, when in reality he did pay. He just didn't pay the extra $300,000 that they wanted him to pay. And like he said, everybody else accepted the money that he paid, but they got an extra $300,000. And Mauricio Suleiman is trying to make it seem as if Terrence Crawford never paid anything, which is ridiculous because he did pay. So they want him to pay that extra money, and he's like, I'm not paying that. I'm paying what I paid everybody else. Period. And now they talking about they're gonna ban him. We glad that, he showed us his true colors. And what? We glad that this happened. He didn't even have the DC to apologize or call us and say he changed his mind. Changed his mind about what? He paid you what he's supposed to pay you. Period. But let me know what y'all think, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word. And man, these fighters need to stop smiling in their face. Like he said, I'm paying y'all for y'all to have my belt. Y'all should be paying me to be the champion. Right. It should be that they pay the fighters when the fighters become the champion, not the fighters pay them. It's mind-boggling. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.